Happy March! Since it's March already, I decided to make a pair of earrings from this pair of aquamarines I have. Of course, aquamarine is March's birthstone. So stick around and I'll show you how to make these earrings. And also stick around to the end because I'll go over some fun facts and some properties of aquamarine. But first, hi, I'm Melissa and welcome to my channel. Alright, so let's get started. I decided to get all fancy and use gold fill wire today. This is 24 gauge dead soft gold fill wire. This is 22 gauge half round. It's the smallest that I have. My tools are just some cutters, flat nose, and chain nose pliers. Mine are kind of like a needle nose because we're working small here. And of course I got my 6x4 millimeter emerald cut aquamarines. Put those aside for now. You're not going to need much wire as far as length. For these little guys, I usually pull out about 3 inches or so. 3 inches should be plenty to make a pair of earrings out of these tiny stones. And that's in case I want to do something fancy with the ends, but we'll see. I decided on 3 inches in length, and also I decided on 3 wires each, so I need to cut a total of 6 wires. 3 for each earring. I forgot to mention some painter's tape. I use painter's tape and a pair of scissors to cut it, but I like to use tape when I'm working with square wire. Keeps them all straight and tidy. I cut 4 little pieces. So next I'm going to take my bundles and straighten them out and get them nice and flush next to each other. Just like that, if you can see that. And kind of smooth them out, give them a wiggle. Now the middle one is twisting. You gotta be mindful of that. This is where I like to use my flat nose pliers. And change the order of these. The middle one was twisting on me, so I'm going to put it on the end. Make sure it lays flat for me. I'm going to grab one of these tapes and tape one of the ends. Take my flat nose, flatten them out again. See? Now they look nice and flat and even. And you go to the other side, follow your wires across. Make sure there's no twisting. When they're flat enough and straight, I go ahead and tape it. I go ahead and do that to the other bundle as well. Next, we're going to grab our half round wire. Watch it all unravel. Okay, slow down. This side's all kinked up, so I'm going to attempt to straighten it. Okay, better than it was, better than it was. I'm going to cut off a piece. Looks like it's about 5 inches. I'm going to anchor the end through a hole. Stop it from unwinding. If you want to be precise, you can go ahead and mark your center. which is about 1.5 inches. That doesn't look right, does it? That's not 1.5 inches. Oh, brother. This is 1.5 inches right here. We can put our bindings in that area. To put bindings on, I use my flat nose pliers. I grab a couple millimeters and I bend it over. Askew, a little bit to the side, if you can see that. I hook it over my bundle. I kind of grab it with my flat nose and push it like that over the other side. Flip it over and kind of bend it again. And then I pull it over the one side, flip it, press it, pull it, flip, press, pull, flip, press, pull. I'm going to put 3 wraps. There's going to be the side that faces out, which has 3 wraps, and then there's going to be the ugly side, which has the cut ends showing. We're going to cut both the ends on the same side, just like that. Press it down. And you might notice that they are slightly cockeyed. To fix that, I'll come through with some pliers and kind of press on both opposite corners. The corners where I want to straighten up. Gently press, and that straightens them out. Let's go ahead and do the other one. Just grab a couple millimeters, bend it over so it is askew. I think that's the right word for it, askew. Okay, hook it, press it and push it. Make sure it stays in the center. Kind of push it over a little bit more. Press it, pull it, flip it, press, pull, oops, flip, press, pull, flip, press, pull, flip, and we're done. 3 wraps on this side, and then we cut on the other side. Sometimes I give them a little press going that way, press this way, a little press them together a little bit. I don't think I pressed these together. You can go ahead and do that. Make sure they're nice and tight. This one too, I'm going to go opposite corner. Gently press until they're straight. Like that. Bottom bindings are done. Next one I'm going to do is put the curve in the middle here. Make sure straighten out those bindings. Make sure the ugly side is on the inside. And angle those up. So if you happen to have ovals, you make them the same way. You can just make yours rounder by going around something like that. I wrap all my little gemstones the same way. I believe it's safe to take these tapes off, but I'm just going to set them aside. Be careful taking them off because it didn't take much to bend my wires. Of course, I have these so well taped I can't get them off. Okay, so we have 3 sets of wires. The front set of wires is going to come over the top of the gemstone. So let's go ahead and pull those up. Just gently. The middle are going to sit right under the girdle, and that's going to hold the gemstone in place. And the back are going to be bent out, and they're going to accommodate the depth of the stone. So I'm going to pull it out a little bit. I'm going to come through with my little chain nose. Go down the wire about 2 millimeters and bend it back. So looking from the side, you have what looks like a little cage. Let's bring these wires together again. Tape the ends lightly. Bring them together. And you can start pressing these 2 bundles together. They'll eventually meet at the top where we're going to bind them together, and that'll make it easier to set our stone. Let's do the same thing with this one. Bring our front wires out, bring our back wires out, and then I'm going to grab with my thin chain nose pliers near the bindings a couple millimeters out, and then bend them back. Same on this side. Grab a couple millimeters out, give them a bend, squeeze them together. Make sure their bend is approximately the same place. Let's bring our wires back together on the sides. Grab some tape, tape them up again. Same with this side. Bring them back together again. Grab your tape. Tape them. Come to the front wires. They just need a slight bend. Without a sharp angle. Start pressing these 2 bundles together. Okay, so we got basically 2 cages. Now let's see if we can get our stones in. Spread them apart a little bit. Make sure to get the girdle right underneath the top wires here. Give those top wires a little squeeze towards each other so they come over the stone a little bit more. Same with the back wires, you can squeeze them. Squeeze your little wires inward. See how that cage kind of protects the depth of the stone. Okay, so that's where we're at. Next, I want to put some wraps on. I'm going to go ahead and use the same 22 gauge half round wire I used before. I'm going to put the same little hook on it. I'm going to hook it from the back. I'm not going to go all the way down to the stone. I'm going to come up a little bit. And gently start wrapping it around. Nice and snug around all 6 wires, but I'm going to keep them as straight as possible. Make sure my binding wire is nice and snug. Maybe I'll put 3 wraps on. To match the bottom here, I can take my tape off again. Usually it'll just pull off. Usually. There we go. Here you can separate your wires. You can bring your half round wire in between. I'm going to snip it. And kind of tuck it in between the 2 bundles of wire. There we go. There's one. Still need to do the second one. Once again, make your hook. Kind of askew. Go to the back. Hook and press. I think my hook is too big. I can see it from the front. I'm going to trim my hook a little bit because I don't want to see it from the front. Gently start wrapping it around. Sometimes, like you saw, it can take some practice to get it started. Make sure your wires stay nice and straight. I'm going to make 3 bindings. Pull my tape off. Pull the sides down. Snug your bindings down to match the other earring. Press that flat. Check them and make sure they match. Next, I want to make the little loop to hold my jump ring, and my ear wire will hold on to my jump ring. So I'm going to bring my middle wires up. These will be hanging, so that will balance it out a bit. Press them together, make sure they lie next to each other. Same with this one. And your free wires, you are free to make designs of your choice with your extra wire. I think I'll make mine simple and tuck them away so you can see the stone. Got them both facing upward now. I got a pair of veil making pliers. I'm going to use the smallest size here. What I used to use, I would grab anything small, like this little tiny pair of screwdrivers. This is small and round down here, so you can wrap it around something like that, you know, anything you can find. But my veil making pliers, I'm going to bring these forward like that. Use my veil making pliers and wind them around. I'm going to wind them both all the way around. Kind of maneuver them around everybody. See how small a loop that made? And both of these are coming forward. What do you think? Should I bring them around again? Snip them in the back. Okay, same thing to the side. Bring them forward. Snug that veil making pliers right up in there. Snake your wires around. You can use pliers if you'd like. Yeah, I'm going to come through and snip the ends. Press everybody down. Let's compare. Not too bad. We got to finish off the ends, make a couple jump rings. Let me see if I have any. Looks like I do have a couple pre-made. I made these with 18 gauge wire. And they'll hook right in there. But first we gotta finish off these wires. Let's get these guys pulled down. Bring them out. Come through and flush cut, even with the bindings. Flush cut. Let's get these tucked in so they don't snag. Put your jump ring on. Just to be closer. Just need some earrings. They don't quite match though. So I'm gonna have to make my own. 20 gauge round, dead soft gold fill. Sometimes you gotta make your own ear wires because nothing else matches. Let's cut like 6 inches. Fold this in half. Probably too much when I think about it. Squeeze them nice and tightly together. Don't scratch. Pick what size you want. Veil making pliers. I'm going to use the smallest one again. Probably could have used 5 inches for these simple ear wires. Cut them apart from each other. We need to stiffen these up quite a bit. Ear wires are finished. Let's attach. So what'd you think of these earrings? Here they are on. Really cute. I know I've made some simple earrings in the past, but these are a little different. Some fun facts about aquamarine. So yeah, of course, it's March's birthstone. Aquamarine is also a variety of beryl, which beryls also consist of emeralds and morganite. Some properties of aquamarine include courage, clarity, peace, intuition, self-expression, balance, and preparedness. Throughout history, aquamarine was believed to protect sailors and guaranteed safe voyages across the seas. Who knew? It was also thought to enhance happiness in marriages. Yeah, some little tidbits there. I thought they were interesting. So, thank you for making it this far. If you thought this tutorial was enjoyable, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you happen to notice this pendant here, if you want to see how I made that, just press this link here. Have a great week. Bye.